Since I was a little kid, I always loved adventuring, and I've always sought to go out on an adventure. And a couple of years ago, I found astrophotography. Actually, one of my friends in high school took a picture of the Milky Way with his Nikon D40, and I was hooked at that point. I had to get a professional camera. And a couple of years ago, I had the availability to get a professional camera, and now all I do is chase the Milky Way. It's what I do outside of work, what I do outside of school. It allows me to get into nature. I have a tracker on my camera, and it allows me to shoot for almost an infinite amount of time at the stars. It actually is something that attaches to my tripod, and I shoot for 4 to 5 to 6 minutes, and even exposing foregrounds, sometimes I shoot for 11, 10 minutes sometimes. And I just look at the stars. I love laying down and just looking straight up at the sky and looking for meteors. I've had moments where my camera didn't capture the meteor, but I got to witness a large meteor, and it's always intriguing to me. And I don't stop looking at the stars because everything else is pretty much pitch black dark because you are shooting around a new moon. My favorite photo, I'd have to say I've taken actually was pretty much I just like progression. So last Friday we had the pleasure of going up to Mount Evans, even though it was windy and really, really cold. But I always enjoy putting together a 50 millimeter vertical shot, and this was the first time this year I've been able to do it. And we got a really cool picture of us standing in a window in an old burnt down building on top of Mount Evans that burned down in the 70s. It used to be a souvenir shop, but it kind of shielded us from the wind, and it was just a really good night. So I have to say, in recent memory, that's been one of my favorite photos that I've taken. My dream location to shoot would probably be in Chile. I've always had a big thing for Patagonia, and it's so remote and so out in the middle of nowhere, and the dark skies there have to be just absolutely phenomenal. I've seen some of the craziest pictures come from there. And also the southern hemisphere Milky Way is much different than actually the northern hemisphere Milky Way. It looks really cool. It's actually directly above you, and it makes a really cool scene to see with vast big mountainous landscapes or even lakes.